If I could like put 3 words on what my date was like, it would be fun, terrifying, and also just like bad on my part.
You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You got to let it go.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I have a story time. Honestly, I never thought about doing story times before because who am I? My life is boring. Whatever. So anyways, this story time is actually really juicy. My first ever date. A little background as we get into this video. I used to hate that because I'd always forget it, and then I don't even do it at the end of my videos. Like I said, I explained my date in 3 words, which was fun, terrifying, and inexperienced. So I met this kid, and before I moved, I lived in this apartment complex, and I was at the pool with my brothers, and we were just like playing around, we were having fun. And we went to this birthday party. This person was having a birthday party there, and we're like, oh, whatever, like we could still go. So we went, and these kids were having like guns, and they were like shooting. So we, being like the kids we are, we like stole them. We stole them, and we were like playing by our side of the pool. You know, like we were gonna give them back. We weren't just gonna take them. But then the kids saw, and then they were like, hey, do you like want to play with us? And we're like, sure. So we started shooting these kids, and he was one of the kids that was shooting me, and I was pretty good, I gotta say. That was such a lie. I was not good at all. We're gonna call him, the guy I went on the date with, we're gonna call him Greg. We're gonna call him Greg. Start playing, and then me and Greg strike up a conversation, and the conversation just takes off, and we start talking and having a fun time. That was great. And then that night, I got his number, and we just started texting, and then I went to sleep. So we texted for a good 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks. The second week, he went to the pool and I went to the pool. So I dragged my brother with me because I was nervous. I was like, okay, like, I don't know. This wasn't the date. This wasn't even the date. This was like a hangout, okay? This wasn't a date, just kind of like hanging out, you know? And so we'd been talking about how we wanted to do this and that, and I wrote a tweet about him. I was like, yeah, I can't wait to go on a book date, like all this fun stuff. So dragging my brother with me because I'm like, hey, like if I go with this kid, like you're going with me, like, you know, we're gonna play. So we were playing around, and then when we get there, him and his sister were there. So we ended up getting in the pool, and it was awkward. It was so awkward. I can't explain it. Like, I'm such an awkward person. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm so awkward, and I don't know why, but I'm like such an awkward person in person. We end up going, and he's just there, and we're just kind of like having fun, and then my brother's like, go talk to him. And I'm like what? Like, what do you mean go talk to him? Like, where do they go to him?
And he's like, go talk to him.
And I'm like, no. So my brother humiliates me.
Hey, Greg.
He yells that, and so, like, you know, he like waved over, and he came over, and I was like, hi, and he goes, hi. It was fun because we were both awkward, so it was like we could grow, you know, like we'd get comfortable, and we would just get out of the awkward phase. So we ended up talking. We went to the hot tub because I was getting tired of the pool. It was like too cold, and it was all gross. So we went in the hot tub, and his sister and my brother were in there because I like dragged my brother with me everywhere because he's like my safe place, you know? Like, if I take my brother, I know that I could be like, hey, like, it's time to go. Like, just be dramatic and we can go. So I dragged my brother. Everything went good. He ended up having to leave first. After that, as we started talking, and we were like, yeah, that was kind of awkward, you know? Maybe it was because our siblings were there. Like, it was just really awkward. It was fun being on a not date. My brother was like, you're dumb. And I'm like, I know. So then what happened after that is after we started talking for a while, finally, our parents both knew that we were talking to each other. So he ends up texting me, and he goes like, hey, like, let's go on a date. Greg, honestly, to this day of my entire life of meeting boys and knowing boys, Greg is one of the nicest boys I've ever met. He is one of the sweetest, nicest, like, out of everything, Greg is, like, he is the nice guy. was we just texted, and you know, he was so kind. He'd like text me good morning, he texted me good night, and he was just honestly such a great guy. Like I wish I could just like go back in time, because I wish just, yeah. We went on the date. So we decided that on a Sunday morning we were gonna go to Starbucks and we were gonna get coffee, because you know, who doesn't like coffee? So we ended up going to Starbucks, and we walked there, and so it was not awkward, because we walked there and it was hot, so I'm pretty sure I looked like a sweaty mess by the time we got there. I felt so bad, but you know, we had good conversations about animals, we talked about life, we talked about everything going on, and so it was so fun. I didn't really know Greg that well, so I knew like his favorite color, I knew like what books, we talked about books, like, you know, we talked about everything. And so when we got to meet in person, it was really nice just to have like different conversations about anything and everything. We ended up going to Starbucks, he pays, like a very nice gentleman, like it was so nice. We were sitting down, and I thought it was rude to text like while on a date. So what I did is I turned my ringer off and I just put my phone down on the table, and it was really loud in Starbucks. I don't know who on a Sunday morning who allowed all these people to go to a Starbucks, but they did. We ended up waiting there, and we just talked, had a good time, and all of a sudden, end of the day, like it was so nice, everything was going so good, and my dad walks into the Starbucks that we were at, and he like walks up to my table, and I was like, oh, this can only mean one thing. Either something bad's gonna happen, or my dad's just getting Starbucks and, you know, being nosy. It could be two very good options that could happen. So my dad comes in and he like sits down. He doesn't sit down, but he just like goes to our table and he goes like, we gotta go. And I'm like, huh? Like, what's wrong? He goes, nothing, like, you gotta go. Not like you gotta go. And I was like, what did I do? So I get up and I'm like, okay, like, sorry. Like, hey, I'm sorry, like, we gotta go, like, all this stuff. And he goes, no, it's okay, it's okay. And he meets Greg for the first time, and he's just like, hey Greg, like, you know, they shake hands, they meet. And I was just like embarrassed the whole time. I was like, oh my god, like I have to go, like they just ruined everything. And I felt bad because me and Greg had walked there, and it's only like a 3-minute walk from where we lived to Starbucks, so it wasn't that bad. But we walked there and I felt so incredibly bad because we just left him there. I went home and my parents were like, well, you weren't answering your phone. And I was like, well then. I wasn't answering my phone because it was down and it was on silent, and I was like, oh well, I was on the date, like I wasn't gonna like answer, like I thought that was rude. Okay, I can't be dumb. So I ended up texting Greg after that, and I was like, hey, like look, I'm so sorry, I wasn't answering my phone, my parents got mad at me, like I'm so sorry that we left you there, like is everything okay? And he texts me back and he goes, everything's great, like, you know, like it's okay, I understand. And I was like, oh. And he then tells me, and this is like the part where like I knew personally that he was a good guy. He's like, so when can we go on another date? And I was like, he wants to go on another date with me after like all this crazy stuff happened. So we didn't end up going on another date. All I gotta say is like Greg, I know Greg will know who he is without me saying his name, but Greg, you are honestly such an amazing person and such a good guy, one of the greatest guys I have ever met, and I am so sorry for being so dumb, but I just want to let you know that because I know that you might watch my videos, but if you don't, that's okay. Like I don't expect you to watch them. Anyways, that was my whole first date experience. Honestly, I'm terrified to go on another date. My advice to anybody who hasn't been on a first date and who might be on a first date, I really recommend going on a first date because a first date tells you everything about a person. It tells you like how nice they are, like their manners, their mannerisms, how they eat or drink. Say hi to the camera, look right here. I'm not gonna look for you. And Greg, if you're watching this, thank you so much for being my first date because you're probably gonna be the best date I'm probably ever gonna have, so. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like for my awkwardness and comment for my my cause of being dumb, because I've been called, I am dumb, so thank you. Drink water, stay healthy. This is a lemon, lemon water is so good. Bye.